Good evening, my name is Specialist Hunter, and today I'll be giving my informative brief over the Army values. This brief is unclassified, and the risk assessment for this brief is low. The Army values are covered in ADP 6-22, Army Leadership. The Army values are used to establish a solid foundation of strong characteristics for all soldiers to use every day. The acronym to remember these Army values is LEADERSHIP, LDRSHIP. This stands for loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Loyalty can be described as bearing true faith and allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, the Army, your unit, and other soldiers. This means to stand up for your fellow soldiers, and also by wearing your uniform, you show your loyalty to the Army and your unit every time you put it on. Duty is defined as fulfilling your obligations. This means that you are carrying out the tasks that you say that you are going to accomplish. And this also means that you resist shortcuts that might undermine the integrity of the final product. Respect is to make sure you are treating people as they should be treated, with dignity and, of course, respect. We'll always remember the golden rule when it comes to respect, and the golden rule is to treat others how you wish to be treated. This also includes self-respect, and self-respect means that you know that you are putting in your best effort. Selfless service is next, and that means that you're putting the welfare of the nation, the Army, and your subordinates before your own. This means doing tasks without the thought of recognition or gain, and it means that you're analyzing what's going on and figuring out how to implement and improve a better plan for the benefit of everybody. Honor means that you're living up to the Army values. The highest military award is actually the Medal of Honor, and this goes to soldiers that make honorable decisions and actions in their daily lives. Acting out loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, integrity, and personal courage, which are the last two that we're about to go over, and everything you do represents and establishes that you have honor. Integrity is doing what's right legally and morally. This goes hand in hand with trust. Trust affects everything you do, from getting picked for tasking to your leadership believing your side of a story for any kind of event. Integrity also means that you don't say or do anything that would deceive other people. That's very important. Integrity also will make it easier for you to accept yourself and the actions that you make. And then the last letter for the acronym, leadership, is personal courage. And this personal courage can be defined as facing fear, danger, and or adversity, both physically and morally. Enduring personal duress at times of risking your own personal safety is a good representation of personal courage. And personal courage means staying on the right path for yourself and for your unit, making sure you don't fall into negative peer pressure, and standing up and acting out actions that you know are honorable despite what anybody else says or thinks about you. As a whole, the Army needs these values implemented by every soldier to accomplish missions on time and in a positive work environment. These values are vitally important to the core structure of the Army. Without the use of these core values that the Army has established, rank structures and teamwork would crumble. For example, without respect, soldiers would be openly insubordinate and rebel against their leadership for anything that they did not feel like doing. And on another note, the Army uses teams of people for everything that we accomplish, from doing PMCS to preparing a battle plan for any kind of warfare. Without loyalty or integrity, how can anybody on the team that you're on depend on you to accomplish the goal? The answer is they can't. You have to have integrity and loyalty to be dependable for others. Not using or living up to the Army values over long periods of time will actually most definitely get you separated from the Army. Not showing loyalty, a sense of duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, or personal courage to your leadership can and will prove that you are untrustworthy, insubordinate, and overall just selfish. All of this shows that you can't operate in a team to accomplish the mission at hand or any kind of tasking, rendering you useless to the Army. And that inevitably leads down the road for separation. But by living up to these values, you can definitely ensure a safe spot in your team, your unit, and in the Army itself. This means that living up to the Army values also applies to your off-duty hours as well. Always remember that you are a soldier 24/7, and everything you do directly affects the unit and the Army community as a whole. As a leader, you must embody the Army values and teach them to all of your subordinates. You have to lead by example, instill discipline amongst the ranks. You have to create a positive work environment for everybody assigned under you. Making a positive work environment makes accomplishing small tasks and large tasks so much more easier, because your soldiers are likely to have an increased in drive to actually work because they're in a healthy, positive working environment. Implementing loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage in your everyday life has to be something you should be doing without you even thinking about it. These are all traits acquired from basic training and should be second nature at this point. In conclusion, the Army values are a tremendously vital role for leadership and for the overall well-being of the Army and all of its soldiers. Pending any questions, this concludes my brief.